Hi everyone, Mr. Williams here again. We're going to pick up where we left off with the read aloud. We did the review reading yesterday over Washington, and we're going to start right here with John Adams, and we're going to move through this section. Again, it's important to remember that anytime you see these words that are bold, or in bold rather, you are to annotate the area by writing down a definition or an explanation. So example, this first word predecessor, you would need to do that. And you're gonna want to do that as you read through, okay? So we're gonna start here. John Adams was elected president after Washington, serving from 1797 to 1801. He had served with Washington in the Continental Congresses, and he was a diplomat during the Revolutionary War to France and Holland. He returned to the United States to become Washington's vice president, a position he disliked. When elected, Adams faced similar international issues as his predecessor, namely the war between England and France. The conflict was causing problems for naval and shipping interests at sea, as the French had begun seizing American merchant ships. It was also dividing the United States. As when Washington was president, the nation couldn't agree upon which European nation would be the best choice for the U.S. to support. Adams also became embroiled in the XYZ affair. France, ruled by a revolutionary leadership group called the Directory, was refusing to recognize the U.S. as a nation, turning away American diplomats and cutting all trade ties. Adams decided to send 3 commissioners in 1797 to address the impasse. But France wouldn't talk with them until they paid a large bribe, they being the United States. Adams brought the news to Congress, who voted to publish the letters sent from American diplomats detailing the French bribery demand. In the letters, the names of the three of the French diplomats who were involved were replaced with the letters X, Y, and Z to hide their identities, hence the name of the affair. It was a major news story in the United States and played a major role in the breakout of the quasi-war with France. Adams tried to move America in the direction of a more aggressive, isolationist foreign policy. He passed the Alien and Sedition Acts, which raised the number of years someone needed to live in the United States in order to be considered a citizen, and allowed for the deportation of aliens deemed dangerous to the United States. These acts were aimed at his opposition party, the Republicans. That's the Democratic Republicans. Meanwhile, Adams also engaged in the Franco-American quasi-war. French privateers, essentially legal pirates acting in France's interests, were heavily raiding U.S. merchant ships. The U.S. Navy was mostly defenseless at first, but Adams had more naval vessels built and dispatched to fight back. Despite a number of U.S. naval victories, the quasi-war eventually ended diplomatically when Adams sent a peace mission to France. Diplomatically means things were worked out peacefully. Adams' party, the Federalists, were divided for and against this decision, but the opposition Republican Party was overwhelmingly against the peace mission. This lack of agreement between the parties and within Adams' own party led to Adams being voted out of the presidency in the election of 1800. Just before his defeat, Adams had the unique distinction of becoming the first U.S. president to live in the White House. When we see the word distinction, that's like a characteristic or a unique something that's noteworthy that's connected with someone. The first president to live in the White House in the new capital city of Washington, D.C. He moved in on November 1st, 1800. So this is where you're going to stop for today, and making sure that you have annotated those words that I highlighted up here above, and be prepared to discuss the reading when you return in person on Wednesday. Have a good day.